Do we have do we have to be chipper?
No.
Ashley's normally the chipper one.
Nothing's
It's too early in the
required
morning
for
to be
chipper.
chipper.
No, not at all.
You don't even have a drink.
It's glitch, please. I'm Gus.
I'm Adam.
I'm Alfredo.
I'm Ryan.
You're right. I don't have a drink. I fucked up. I'm sleepy today.
I didn't realize that these cups were so specific, though. There's literally
supposed to.
like a sippy hole here.
Yeah.
If you don't put it there, it dribbles.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Really?
It only dribbles if you put it lined up with the crease.
Why is it
That's
sippy?
the indicator's just so you don't put it right on that crease.
Look, just don't question it. The cup is demanding something.
Been drinking it wrong this whole time.
Wow, look, you
I've
you
seen-
don't have a sippy hole. You're fine.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Your mouth could go anywhere. There's not like sip here.
I want that on a T-shirt. Your mouth can go anywhere.
Your mouth. It's the less well-known sequel to the Reading Rainbow.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like a Dr. Seuss book, right, for kids. Like,
Your
your mouth can go anywhere.
Anywhere. Just take a look.
Are we starting over? No, we're going with it. All right. All right. We're gonna talk about video games. I guess normally we talk about what we're playing first.
That's the normal thing.
What are you playing?
What am I playing?
Yeah.
I've been playing a little bit of. I played some more of Fractured Butthole. I played more of Shadow War and Fractured Butthole. I think I'm putting Shadow War on hold. And after my last play session of Fractured Butthole, I think I'm also going to shelve that.
Really?
It is good and it's fun. I actually really like the combat. I like the exploration. This is going to sound stupid. The comedy is almost too immature.
Who are you?
There's a lot of just
In a South Park game?
Right. I mean, obviously, that's what I should expect. But there's a couple kinds of humor. There's the humor that's like, I can't believe they're making like a priest pedophilia joke. That's really funny, kind of, in a way, joke. But then there's just like the I'm gonna go shit on all these toilets jokes.
You realize that butthole is in the name of the game.
Absolutely. I was forewarned, but
Maybe it's just you need a break for it.
yeah,
For a
yeah.
second. You'll come back to it.
Like some of that humor, it's so often that even the mild like comedic value that it offers is like it's lackluster. The game itself is still pretty fun, but this week is like the games week, and there's no reason to play a game I'm not 100% jazzed on.
Wolfenstein.
Yeah, right.
Wolfenstein. I got to play that yesterday.
Nice. I also got
it's fun.
a round of. Do you know that League of Legends board game I brought in a few episodes ago? I got to play sessions of that, and that game's awesome. Like,
How many people did you play with?
I played with 3, and we got through about 3 scenarios, and man, that game is so much fun. The scenarios are like, they define different objectives. Like our one objective, our school was school was on fire, and we had to like remove a bomb from the school and drop it off at a pad. And it's just like goofy fun. And if you want a co-op game, I recommend that
What's
one.
the name of the game again?
Mechs versus Minions.
It's like the kind of things you don't want to be Googling. You end up on a list.
Yeah.
Bomb in school, school on fire.
Get flagged real quick.
You're going to visit real fast.
What are you playing, dude?
I've been playing Destiny 2 on PC. I didn't play it on console. I waited for PC. Shadow of War. So I was playing Shadow of War, and I kind of put it aside so I could play Destiny 2 so we could talk about it today. And of course, PUBG. PUBG's ruining me. Like, I want to play Fractured Butthole. I haven't even picked that up yet. I started late on Shadow of War because I was playing PUBG. And every game I'm playing, I'm just like, I could be playing PUBG.
That's cool that you have a game that like you can keep coming back to for that many hours, though. That is cool. But
How many hours do you have in that game?
Oh, it's not that many. I think it's only like 160.
That's it? Really?
Yeah.
How?
I mean, I guess you're just playing like a couple rounds at a time.
I've got 2 accounts, and one of them has 143. I know the other one has probably about 100.
I don't know. It's like, I don't play for extended periods of time. It's like the kind of game I'll play, then I'll get really pissed off. It's like, that's it. I'm done.
That's how I
Step away and then
after
come
like
back.
4 hours. I have 500 hours in that game.
Oh my God.
Don't judge me. Don't
What?
judge me.
How do you like Shadow of War being you? Like, you hate open world games.
Right, but
And in this game, you hate
not that open
Like, the thing is about that game is that it has no structure, and I feel like you hate no
What are you
structure.
talking about? It's got quests.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, if you want to advance the
you're
plot,
right.
go do this.
So I do. It is the kind of game I normally hate.
Yeah.
But there are occasionally games like that I will play. Like I played GTA 5.
Okay.
And I played it all the way through. I don't know what it is. I really liked Shadow of Mordor. I don't know if it's the universe or.
Yeah.
I like the stealth mechanic in the game.
The one where like enemies never see you even if you're right in front of them,
Right.
as long as you're crouched.
Right, just crouch. Enemies, they can't see below like this level. If you're below it, you're fine.
Orcs
my
are like
favorite-
Sounds like my
inverse
type of
dogs.
stealth
They
game.
can't look down.
That whole
Yeah.
game, you can just run around and be like, I'm stealthing, and you can literally sprint while you're crouching and walk up to them and stab them in the face. And a friend looks over and it's like, what was that? And like looks directly at you. But as long as you push the prompt soon enough, you can kill him too in stealth.
Well,
it's
that's
amazing.
when you get the upgrade where you
Hell
can just
yeah.
chain stealth stab people. It's great.
I think it's the stealth mechanic that I really like in that game, and sneaking around killing
I
people.
like that game a lot, and I wish I could play it. When is Windows Store gonna stop being an absolute piece of shit?
Ooh.
Oh, you bought on the Windows Store.
Well, I bought it on.
That was a mistake.
No, see, it's a Play Anywhere title.
Oh, I didn't
So
know
you can
that.
Play it on. If you've got it on Xbox, it works in Windows Store as well.
Oh, I'm really happy about that.
Where do you own it?
I was playing it on the Xbox One.
Okay, yes, you can. Maybe you can install it on your PC. I can't on my home machine. I had it installed. I was playing it, and then one day it was like, I can't load this anymore. I don't know.
Are you
It's
serious?
like an authorization issue. So I was like, all right. So I tried resetting it. There's like 4 go-to how to fix the stupid ass Windows Store things, and I've done all of them.
4?
Well, there's like 3 go-to fix the stupid ass.
I learned that this is in German how you signal for 3, right?
That was-
Versus
yeah.
this.
We've all seen Inglourious
this
Basterds.
Right. This is the fuck up.
Correct way. So I tried reinstalling it. Now it gets to 99% and just says, "Oh, I can't do it." It's like installation failed. Will retry, and then it just does that. And it never
Nice.
succeeds.
Is there like a verify file integrity like Steam?
I have done. There is, and I've done that. I've done all sorts of things to try and make this fucker install. And this isn't the first time that I've had this struggle with Windows Store, and I'm not the only one that has it.
Is it cross save? Like, will you get your?
Yes,
That's what?
it works great.
It's cross
Well, no, it doesn't.
Here at home, I've got it here at work, and I had it at home. It was working great until
Damn.
it just stopped.
So you just play on Xbox and go play PC and then go
You
play
could.
Xbox.
I've got it installed on my PC here, and it works fine on my PC here at work.
Damn.
And it's all
That's
fine.
awesome.
It's cool when it
But,
works,
yeah, it
but
doesn't- I
motherfucking
mean, it
Windows
doesn't work.
Store, why is it a piece of garbage? As if only there weren't some examples of how to properly run a store where you download it and play games.
They're a small company. Give them some slack.
It's such a piece of garbage.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
But in Play Anywhere, part of it works fine. The saves
Potential is
transfer
there,
well.
I guess. You know.
The frame rate is obviously way better on PC. You go back to the Xbox, you're like, why? And then you're like, oh, it's because I can't install it on my PC at home because it's a cunt.
Ooh. Jeez.
That's a hard word.
That was 2 hours of my night last night. Downloading, it's a 65 gig game, and I downloaded it 5 times trying to get that fuck to work.
Gonna hit those bandwidth caps. So what have you been playing if you're not playing Shadow of War?
I have actually been playing it when I'm at work or on my Xbox at home. I've been trying to finish that before I start Fractured Butthole. And then I played Wolfenstein yesterday, thanks to Gus. Woo. It was a lot of fun.
I watch you for a little while.
It's a very fun game.
It's not the game. He just watches you.
It starts, okay, I will say this about it, though. A lot more domestic abuse in it than you would think.
Okay.
The first,
That's a good representation of Nazi Germany, I guess.
well, I think
Nazi
I don't.
America
It's
now?
not. Yeah, it's Nazi America. The first hour of gameplay in that, you're not playing a lot of it. As you watch stories from his childhood, you watch some other characters that are, parent-child interacting aggressively. So you just get to. It's things. There are several encounters in that normally you would just be like, oh, this is just one of those things where I can just like interrupt what's going on. Like, there's 2 characters arguing, and I'll just do something while they're arguing to get me out of this situation. And it's like, no, you're just to watch this.
Weird.
You're gonna stay there until this whole tableau plays out.
Feel Bad Simulator 2017.
Jeez, they're trying to prepare you for the bloodbath you have to bestow upon all the
Pretty
Nazis.
much.
Oh,
But
it's like-
once you get to the bloodbath, boy, is it bloodbath.
It's like some kind of Clockwork Orange shit. Like you gotta force your eyes open. You
Pretty
gotta watch
much.
all of this stuff.
They really get you up to that point where you're like, I get why he's so angry all the time. But yeah, then it finally unleashes you on the Nazis, and you're like, I'm gonna stealth kill this guy, and you take a fire axe and chop both his legs off, and then stab him in the throat, and it's like,
That's
there's the
overkill.
violence.
Yeah.
There it is.
Sounds like overkill.
Aside from that, though, fun game so far.
It got it's had really good reviews from what I've seen so far. Oh, we should comment that we received that copy of Wolfenstein II early from Bethesda.
I received it early from Gus.
Yeah, I received it, then I gave it to him.
I got an early copy. Haven't had time to play it. It sucks.
Damn.
What are you playing?
I've been playing Destiny 2 on the PC. So I'm getting ready for that raid. And then on top of that, still going back to PUBG and Siege. Those are gonna be my like forever games for a while. But man, PUBG has really been kicking me down to the ground lately.
I heard you were telling someone you weren't happy with the state of the game lately.
I'm not. It just the I don't know, man. Like the desync with that game is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like the frame rates. I remember how before it's like, oh man, you couldn't look at Polygon at all. You just dropped to like 30. And then there was an update, and I was like, oh, I'm actually getting like 100 FPS steady. I don't know what happened. It's back to how it used to be, where you can't. Your FPS just drops like crazy in big areas. I even have a clip too where I was playing. And like I shot at one guy, and I knew another guy was coming around the corner. So I turned around, ran behind me, and I was literally 3 large steps around the corner, and then just died.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
It could be. I've noticed lately more hacking than I had in the past. So it could be some of that going on. The other day,
I finally ran into one.
Yeah, the other day I was playing, and at incredibly long range, someone killed me with a shotgun, and I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck just happened? And then from my death cam, I could see them like, boom, like zoom in really fast.
Yeah.
Grab my stuff and then bam, take off. I was like,
happened
oh,
too.
what the fuck?
I was at school where that little pole like building is, and I was at the stairs. A dude was at the bottom. He was literally like crouched. I could see the top of his head, but there was like cement in front of him. And he just shot, and it went through the wall, and it killed me. And then he just zoomed over like he was the Flash. And I was like, oh, that's a hacker. That sucks.
I'm a little concerned. One of the things, I was at TwitchCon a weekend or two ago, and there was Omen brought this huge setup where they were doing 40-person tournaments, which actually worked really well in kind of like an esports sort of feel.
Did they do anything to adjust the blue zone, or is it? Standard?
Yes, they got rid of red zone and they sped up the blue zone.
Okay, yeah.
Which a lot of people did not deal with well. A lot of them stayed out too long.
Yeah,
not
you
really.
forget. You forget. Yeah.
But as part of that setup, they had, as you guys know, with the custom server, you can have that spectator viewpoint. The desync between what was happening on the spectator view versus what should have been happening in the game was really, really bad. And I'm starting to wonder if that isn't occasionally a more honest view.
The spectator view?
Yeah. Because
Well, the spectators would be just treated as another client, right? It doesn't have any special
I don't know.
access.
It doesn't seem like that when you're like watching your teammate play. You frequently will be watching them shoot at something. It's like, they're a foot behind the person and hitting, but in your viewport, it's terrible. So I assume that the spectator view is not very reliable. But the amount of people that were zipping around, and this was in a pretty small area, kind of, I don't know if they could do a LAN setup in that. But,
No.
so it could have been that it was because it was hopping up to a server and back. But it makes me a little concerned. Though, I will say that is a cool game to have that viewport on, and if that is how they can turn that into some kind of like esports thing, it's going to be pretty neat.
You gonna maybe consider moving over to Fortnite Battle Royale?
No. PUBG. And they're really aggressively starting to talk about the final push to the 1.0 release. So I feel like these are pretty major things to be still a huge problem this late in the game.
Have you guys noticed it? And this is maybe one of those like back in my day sort of moments, but I feel like in the distance things are popping more than they used to. Like it used to be, I felt like I could just see without too many loading issues. Yeah, and it's like that. It made it very easy when there was a player in the distance, and now it's like, oh, that was just a rock or just like a trees. I mean, I'm on ultra settings for everything, but even still, it doesn't feel quite as smooth out there as it used to be, which is probably part of how they're trying to address the frame rate issues.
Yeah.
Back when I did play, I had a lot of pop in. I had a lot of like, oh, the bush is loading in while I walk, and that's not a player, it's a bush. But
That bush will get you every time.
I mean, the bush will
like
always
that
get you.
4-foot bush in the distance. It's like, oh, play. Oh, no. All right.
I love hiding in those bushes, though. I'll get in them and like holster all my weapons and just sit, and then just wait, and then watch people come by and just bap bap. You got killed by a bush.
yeah.
Yeah, they're what's I say? They as you were talking about the blue zone, they also increased the damage in the blue zone with the most recent patch.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, the first iteration of the blue zone is the same damage as it was before, but every subsequent iteration causes more damage because they're trying to force people more into it and not fighting from the outside the blue.
I'm curious, and I haven't really experimented with this, but when does stage 2 damage start?
This is PUBG Talk brought to you by Glitch Please.
It's just, Ashley's not here to stop us. Guess what? We're just going to talk about it. Stage 2 damage, what do you mean?
Okay, so You're in the blue zone, right? You're left outside the circle as it closes. You're getting stage 1 damage. It hits the white zone and makes a second circle. Does it advance to stage 2 damage at that point, or does it wait until it starts contracting again?
I think it waits until it starts contracting again.
Okay.
I think. I don't know that for 100%.
But is there a, if you stay in the zone for too long, it increases the damage just a little bit?
I don't know. I've never paid attention.
Yeah.
It's always like,
I've always just like, I got to haul ass. Like,
Yeah.
I know this shit it's hurting me. I need to get out of here.
yeah.
That's why I kind of, and I wonder if what the effect that you're thinking is it getting
Yeah, it's
progressively bigger is just that
because
you're
it stopped and
once it
that's
hit
the
that
start of it.
yeah.
Huh.
I always assumed it was when the next one starts, because then it's like that's the new blue zone. It's still the old one when it hits the white line. But I don't know. I guess we go either
I
way.
never really looked into it. I like that they're increasing the zone damage after the first zone though, because when you think about it, usually like the second phase of the game is the most boring part, right? The first phase you loot, the last phase you're in like that top 10 situation. But that middle phase is just like, I have enough loot and I just kind of have to sit here because the zone's still really big. So yeah, I like
And
that
running
they're
around
increasing
is
that.
just putting a target on your head.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe even increase the speed just a tad bit too. Hurry up that little like mid part of the game.
Yeah. And I think that vaulting is going to be on the test server really soon.
Finally.
And they said they want to go through 3 iterations of the test server with it before it hits live. So I'm excited for that.
So many times those walls with the cracks in them, I'm just like, whoa, oh, nope, whoa, nope. It's like, damn.
You got to master that jump crouch to really get.
Yeah, people are like, you
effective.
should keep behind. I'm like, no, I don't care that much.
All right, that's enough of PUBG talk, probably.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
God.
All right.
All right, let's move on and let's talk about Destiny 2 on the PC.
Okay.
Full slide.
Yeah.
So I did not play Destiny 2 on console when it came out. I waited specifically to play it on PC. What about you guys?
I played a couple solid, maybe 2 or 3 weeks solid of. I'm 302 or something on PS4, and I don't regret that at all. I have not put any time into Destiny 2 on PC because I have been like filming the past 2 days for my new show, but I want to because that's where all my friends are playing. The only reason I played it on PS4 was because I just couldn't wait. I was like a child, so I mean, what can I do?
What about you, Alfredo?
I played, I don't know, countless hours on Xbox, but then I only played enough to make like the content that we did for Achievement Hunter. Then after that, I was like, I want to wait. And then now I have like 15 hours in Destiny PC, like power level 235. So getting ready for that PC raid.
And Ryan, I think you said you haven't tried it out yet.
I have not tried it on the PS or the PC yet.
The PS.
PlayStation.
The PS PC.
I was like, why is Trevor bothering me? Is what I was
PlayStation.
looking
I
at
mean, I
at
played the
moment.
beta and
Mute.
just the frame rate and controlling with a mouse and keyboard was unreal. It was so good. I wonder how it's going to change the dynamic of like what guns are good since the recoil acts differently. So I guess we'll see.
I mean, I think we've definitely seen like a splinter. Like you look at a game like Overwatch, where some characters are really preferred on console and some are really preferred on
Right.
PC. And so I think, yeah, you might see people liking guns on the PC that they don't like on the other one.
Well, the go-to for the beta was the Devil's hand cannon, and that's just something you don't use on console. But on PC, it was just hand cannons everywhere because you can instantly
It's a lot
just
more
control
precise.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
control that
I
recoil
hate the hand
so
cannon
well.
on consoles.
You just can't. But then on PC, it's just like pop, 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 pop. It's just headshots.
Yeah, when I first started playing on PC, I was like, no, I'm not going to use the hand cannon. I'm not going to use the hand cannon. Then I got one that was like significantly better. I was like, all right, I'll equip it. And I started using it. It's like, holy shit,
it's like,
no.
wow, it's awesome.
Yeah, this is good.
Hold
Yeah, I
down,
want to
it's
use
great.
Sunshine. That's my favorite gun in all of Destiny. Even on PS4, I really like that gun. I'm really excited to play with it on the PC.
Yeah, it's making me regret, like I have a 4K display, but it's 60 hertz. It's making me regret that it's only 60 because the game does play really smooth.
Yeah, no,
And, it
they
looks
it's well
great.
optimized, dude.
It's optimized well. I like it. I'm playing on a 1440, 165 hertz monitor, and it's everything I could ever ask for.
I was like, are they?
It controls so well, and just having faster load times where I want to travel somewhere, my ship will just fly in, and then like 2-3 seconds it flies off, and I'm just like, oh, thank you, like,
Yeah.
Jesus, no more of these like 10-second like sitting in space, just sitting there.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Shit. Oh yeah. So I will say I'm I haven't played that much, I guess. I'm on IO. I'm still like playing through the story mission, like where you go to find Ikora. So it's like I'm only like light level 110 or something. But there are moments where like I kind of roll my eyes story-wise. Like there's a mission where you're helping Cade 6, and he says, "I don't have time to explain to you what I don't understand." It's like, okay, we get it. We get it.
Yeah.
Like you're. I know you're poking fun at yourself.
Yeah.
But it's like, don't dredge up those memories. Let them be.
They do a good job in that story of ending on a really high note. The last few missions are like amazing. They're super fun. They're the best missions I played in Destiny.
You think so?
Yeah, in Destiny, yes.
I mean, Destiny, yeah.
I feel like, and maybe it's because I played it co-op. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's because I played it co-op, but it was kind of underwhelming.
The last fight was easy on solo.
Oh, okay.
But I'm saying the missions themselves leading up to that fight were awesome. They're really awesome.
Yeah, the cutscenes were great too. I mean, at least now we have a Destiny storyline that we could discuss, good or bad.
Follow.
Yeah, and just even follow.
So, I mean, they had a little bit of controversy with people claiming that they were banned for no reason. And then they came out and said, they had a blog post where they said that, they manually review every ban and that
400 people were...
400 people were banned, and if they were banned, that, there was a reason for it. And then like a couple of hours later, there was an update saying, we reviewed some of the bans and overturned some of them.
Yeah,
It's like, what happened?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They only overturned like 4 though.
No, they didn't give a number. They said in the initial post, they said they overturned 4 from those 400. Then they had an update saying we
geez.
reviewed them and we undid some of them. But they didn't give any number on the update.
Do you think there's like one guy that was like, oh, I didn't know that it was okay they did that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
I don't know. The requirements are weird. I've only like glanced at it, but it's like you can't do no game capture and like OBS XSplit.
they denied that.
No third party. There was a post though that says you can.
No, but
No,
what
they
you
said
In terms of the banning,
that was not bannable.
It was not bannable offense, but then there was like a blog post of like things like don't do with like Destiny 2, and one of them
don't
was
capture with OBS?
Yeah, no game capture.
What about streaming? I mean, streaming considered game capture? Sure.
You have full screen capture.
Oh, that's really stupid.
Yeah, it was weird. I'm like I was looking over this with Lewis yesterday. It's there, and then there was also talks about like you can't use like third-party programs because it opens the door for like hacker programs. Like so you couldn't do like Discord's overlay on your
They
PC. You
specifically
couldn't do
did
fraps.
say they did specifically say like performance overlays and Discord are totally fine.
Yeah.
And they said etc.
So I'm looking at the article. I didn't see this article you were talking about until right now. It says, so it's talking about OBS and XSplit. Game capture mode of applications such as OBS and XSplit is not supported. The following methods are supported for capturing video of Destiny 2 on PC. To capture while playing an exclusive full screen, hardware capture via Elgato, AverMedia, NVIDIA Shadowplay, and AMD Relive are supported. And to capture while playing in windowed mode, including borderless full screen, OBS and XSplit screen capture mode is supported, and OBS and XSplit window capture mode is supported.
That's really frustrating.
It just doesn't do game capture.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's a sub mode. Whatever. There's still plenty of ways.
There's plenty of ways to do it. It's just
The
silly.
game capture is usually like the ideal way, just because full screen it's got all the overlays and like your desktop and everything.
Oh, and
Kind
also,
of frustrating. And the way I have my setup, like it's beneficial for me to do game capture, so it's like, well, now I'm screwed.
when it comes to Discord and Mumble, it says, who's
Mumble.
talking and visual notification features such as those provided by Discord or Mumble are not compatible with Destiny 2. Notification features may still be provided through the third-party application. It seems like
It says they're not
that's really
supported. It
specific.
doesn't say that these are like bannable things though.
No, they're not bannable. It's just not supported stuff.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's just weird.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, you can't do fraps or like MSI's like overclocked stuff, like overlays. It looks like they just don't want third-party overlays. I mean, I get it, like usable in the game, because then apparently it's like the same type of access that hackers use to implement hacks into the game. So I get it. Just makes it a little trickier.
It sucks. It's like DRM, right? Like it sucks for people who want to use these tools for good purposes. So we'll see how the community reacts to that. I mean, this is still kind of, I think this just happened yesterday when they made that blog post. So this is still developing while we're talking about it right now. I really wish that there were cross-platform saves available. I feel like I'm missing out. I wish that's why I didn't play the console version before. I didn't want to ruin the experience going into the PC version.
Yeah.
I wish I'd been able to play it on console and then use that character on the PC version.
Yeah, there's-
move over to it.
Or at least like GTA, where you get that one-time character transfer.
Yeah.
I would have loved that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I
At least that.
definitely have a lot of things on my character on PS4 that I would love to bring over. I have pretty much every exotic weapon except for like 2, and I have all the armor I want except for Iron Banner stuff.
But since it was like a delayed release for PC, how would that even be? Because you don't want to be able to transfer over like your raid-ready character. Maybe like after the 2 weeks, but
It
then
doesn't seem like there's a way to do it that's fair to people that don't have it on console.
yeah.
And maybe
What do you
that's
mean
why.
fair? What fair? Who cares? How is it fair or not fair? It's
That's
your
true.
game.
I bought 2 copies of the game.
Yeah.
Like I spent the time. I should be able to transfer the character over.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that would be fair or not fair is Crucible. I mean, that has its own method of leveling you, unless you're talking Iron Banner, which they probably haven't had an Iron Banner yet. So.
I haven't checked. Is the raid in right now for Destiny 2?
No, next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday? Okay, so they're delaying it a week. Interesting.
Waiting. Which is cool because there'll probably be another raid run. Although there was controversy with the whole Prestige raid run on console.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so if you guys didn't hear about that, the raid was supposed to come out simultaneously with the Iron Banner. They ended up delaying the Prestige mode raid a week because they're like, oh, we know that there's these known exploits, so we want to get rid of those before we have the whole world's first Prestige run. The raid came out, the Prestige raid came out. There was a team that beat it, got world's first, and they used an exploit to get world's first. And so now there was this whole controversy of like, well, why are you giving that to them if that should have been taken out of the game, et cetera, et cetera. And so there was that whole
World's
issue.
first asterisk.
Asterisk used, I think it was like a cold heart exploit. For the final boss.
The glitching question was called coil glitching, which happens when you swap weapons, I guess, and it refills your heavy ammo when it's not supposed to.
Okay.
So basically, you had way more heavy ammo going throughout the raid, so you could finish a lot faster.
Throughout the whole raid.
I believe so, yeah.
Ooh,
That's big.
that was big. Just pop, pop, pop. Over and over again. Oh, jeez.
The glitching question is called coil glitching. It's a cheese attached to the Wardcliff coil rocket launcher that lets players instantly fill up their power ammo.
Damn.
And
That's
how
a powerful-
exactly is that done?
Let me look into
Science.
it.
I would
Please
be surprised
explain in detail.
if it's still in there. Hopefully they've gotten rid of that. Did you also see, while he looks that up, one quick aside, that the collector's edition shipped with a metal case for the game disc, but no game disc?
What?
It came with a
that's-
BattleNet code and just like a paper.
Because I guess the console versions had a disc, right?
Right.
They didn't want to cheat people out of that steel box, that sweet steel box with nothing in
You
it.
still get the steel box, but with just like a piece of paper.
What a
I mean,
weird-
I would
what a
never
weird
do anything
thing,
with
dude.
a PC CD though.
Right. Yeah.
I don't even have a CD drive.
Yeah, see, my PC doesn't even have a drive. I couldn't
Yeah.
even read optical. Oh, there it is. It's the collector's edition. Yeah, so there's nothing in there. It's all flash.
That really reminds me of my Halo 2 limited edition.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it does. Wider version.
Yeah. So yeah, overall, I'm having fun. I'll keep playing it. I played it more than I probably would have just because I want to be able to talk about it here on the show. But I know now that we taled about it, PUBG's going to be calling back to me.
Are you really going to slow
Well,
down?
Shadow War.
You waited this whole time to not play it?
Well, I want to finish Shadow War.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I still have a couple of games that I want to finish and then come back to.
What's your priority this week? There's Wolfenstein, there's Odyssey, there's
Oh, and
Destiny
that doesn't
2,
count-
There's Assassin's Creed.
Right.
Many.
What?
I'm not a big Assassin's Creed player, so
I'm
I'll
not
probably
either.
pass on that. But I mean, Odyssey and Wolfenstein. I did not play the first Wolfenstein, so I probably won't play I'll probably go back and play the first one and then play the second one. So that one's gonna get backburnered a little.
Really? All right.
Yeah.
I mean,
First one's awesome though.
They do a long recap.
Indeed.
That's another part of the game that you will watch if you choose to. There at the start there's a sizable recap of retelling of Wolfenstein 1 right at the beginning.
So Ryan, for how to explicitly do this glitch, coil glitching is an exploit used to instantly refill your power weapon ammo by equipping the Wardcliff coil and exotic rocket launcher, then picking up power ammo, then switching to a different power weapon, you immediately get full power ammo. So basically, you would just keep restocking power ammo. And Destiny even finally came out with kind of a response, where in response to a post on Reddit, they said, "We have seen the reports that an ammo exploit was used today in the Prestige raid. This was not the specific exploit we were checking for, and we don't currently have the ability to detect it. Tomorrow, we will release the top 3 finishers for the Prestige raid. You can make your own decisions as to who should be celebrated."
Oh,
What an interesting way to dance around that.
jeez.
That's funny. Also, I mean, how would they detect that though? There's just like no way, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously something is happening that's triggering the ammo fill, but
Yeah.
I don't know if it's an ability on that weapon or that.
The Wardcliff coil, when you walk over heavy ammo, automatically refills the Wardcliff coil's ammo.
The clip.
By the active magazine or whatever is in that thing. Yeah, I don't know.
You can make your own decisions.
So you're gonna hold off on Wolfenstein, hold off on Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Odyssey, I think Odyssey is like by far top of my chart.
Yeah, and it's getting great reviews too.
Of course it is. Like I'm not surprised in the slightest.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna play?
Hats.
Yeah, I'll probably finish Shadow of War and then maybe go to Odyssey. We'll see. But I mean, Odyssey's like, since it's a Switch title, I'm always like, oh, I'll just play it when I travel.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I could wait at all.
Yeah, I need to play it. But that's what I said about Stardew Valley. I was like, oh, but I had to finish Golf Story. I finished Golf Story. Then I haven't been traveling, so I haven't picked up I haven't played Stardew Valley, even though I own it.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's just this eternal cycle we're stuck in where there's too many games and I can't play them all.
There's too many games right now.
Stop making games.
Good point.
Stop. All right. I guess let's go ahead and move on to our next topic. Let's do some news speedrun. All right, a couple of news items to cover here. Looks like we got about 3 of them. First one, as I'm sure everyone has heard, is NeoGAF has collapsed and is gone. And I guess they're not no more. They came back, right?
Did they uncollapse?
I think they came back, and then everyone was still leaving.
The site was like down.
It's like a run
No, they're
flat
back
tire.
up. The site is back up, but we've had a lot of their moderators and users have left and started their own site. So there was an account of sexual misconduct by the owner of NeoGAF, Tyler Malka, that came out Friday, October 20th. He has subsequently released a statement where I believe he denied it, but people are still questioning that. And it's out there. And so a lot of members have left, and they started a new website called ResetEra, which is staffed with prominent moderators from NeoGAF. NeoGAF itself is the remake of another forum from another website that had gone away, the Gaming Age forums, which is, I guess, the GAF. So, I mean, this cycle just continues, right? Like the community built, went away, rebuilt, went away. They should have called it New NeoGAF, honestly, in my opinion. I mean, do any of you guys really use NeoGAF a lot?
No.
Or post there? It's a website I didn't frequent, but I felt like a lot of news came out.
Yeah, a lot of news came out.
And a lot of people I follow in the games industry would, tweet out or share links to threads or specific posts, and it was huge for game journalism and for gamers to get news out there. And it'll be interesting to see what happens from this if the owner divests himself from NeoGAF and tries to have someone else take over, or if ResetEra is going to take off, or there's going to be some other website that tries to take it off. Who was it? Was it OpenCritic, I think, also said that they welcomed NeoGAF members and tried to get them to come over to their forums.
I mean, once this kind of event happened, usually that's just kind of the breaking point for that site. I mean, is there really a going back for NeoGAF at this point?
Probably not. I mean, they've lost a lot of their members, their moderators, and
once that active user base is gone, it's like,
Yep. What do you do?
Yeah.
That's your evangelists to bring more people there, unless they can somehow still manage to get some really important breaks or something.
Yeah, we'll see if. I think at this point you're right. I agree with you. I think it's probably over for NeoGAF, and we'll have to see where those users and where that information is going to be coming from now. Hopefully, everyone rebuilds quickly and moves on to ResetEra or somewhere else. At least there is a clear direction for them to go, and it's not just kind of like aimlessly scattered to the wind. Because I feel like it was a really important website for a lot of people. Have any of you guys ever been involved with like a community that went away or disappeared online?
Dig.
Oh, Dig, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was really rough for a little bit. Like I went to Dig, like I went to Reddit like every day, and then like suddenly things start to, like, I think the site layout changed.
They went to V4, right?
Yeah, and there was a lot more like nonsense on the front page, and then people just started quitting. And like for a while, the front page of Dig was all just Reddit posts, so it would link to Reddit, and then I guess that was people's way of like migrating to the new site, and then now I'm on Reddit all the time. Yeah.
I remember I did the exact same thing. I never went to Reddit, and then one day, they launched that V4 layout. I was like, all right, I go to Reddit now.
Yep.
I just moved on. What about you guys? Any involvement like that?
Nothing I can think of.
Yeah.
I know.
They're probably so dead to me that I've forgotten them.
Yeah, that's it's always a sad thing, but hopefully everyone figures it out. Anyway, also just the other day, Animal Crossing Pocket Camp got announced, which is Animal Crossing on iOS. I wish Ashley was here because I think do you play?
No.
I'm the only one who plays Animal Crossing here. God, you guys
Is that the one where it's
Are
like
you
a
excited for this, or would you
spreadsheet
rather
or-
it just be on the Switch?
I want a Switch version.
Right.
I mean, this seems fine, whatever, but I'm not that excited about it, especially because there's real money, in-game currency
Again?
you can buy with real money. There were always
You can buy golden bells now.
Well,
I'm just making shit up.
bells
I don't know.
was the currency that
Okay.
they had before. Now they have a new currency called leaf tickets, which is 99 cents for 20 leaf tickets. So is this for Animal Crossing?
This is for Animal
Ben
Crossing.
just told me microtransactions range from $1.49 to $62.99 an item on the Google Play page.
That's
Is the base
insane.
game free?
It has to be.
Yes, free to play. So an example for leaf tickets is, so the game's all about like building, putting stuff in your house, collecting, fixing your town up. You can build a bench and it requires 6 pieces of wood. Or you can use leaf tickets instead of having to go collect wood. And that way you just pay to get the items.
So it's a
like-
resource shortcut.
Right. You can either spend time in game to get the resources or spend real money to get the resources.
It's free standard.
In fact, when they released the trailer for it that we're watching right now, at one point at the bottom of the screen, there's a little bit of text that says, some cosmetic items require considerable hours of gameplay. So it's like even warning you that you're seeing a lot of cool stuff, but you might have to play a lot of time.
It also says persistent
Yeah, it's
internet
always
required,
on.
so you can't play it on a plane or unless you pay for Wi-Fi.
I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that a lot.
It's
This
Super
type of
Mario
stuff's
Run was the same way.
familiar on mobile though. It's not like
Yeah.
it's a lot of just like pay to this, pay to that on mobile.
I think it's a hard adjustment for me because it wasn't a mobile game,
No,
and
exactly.
that did become a mobile game. I guess at least it's free to play, so it's got that going for it. But still, I'm concerned that I'm going to spend money on this game.
Oh, so you're not concerned? You're not upset about there being money? You're concerned that it's going to hook you in?
I'm upset that I have to spend real world money, and I'm going to spend real world money.
I mean, you don't have to spend it to get the game, though.
Right. And
You
Ashley lucked out.
haven't been here. I talked about buying microtransactions and no one else had. I knew
done
someone
it.
else had. I was like,
Yeah,
it's you.
I bought microtransactions before. And Ashley timed this perfectly. She's a big Animal Crossing fan. The game's coming out, I believe, at the end of November here, but it came out already in Australia and New Zealand. She's in Australia right now.
Oh, cool.
She's having a blast.
Yeah, it was perfect timing for her. I think she may have.
Will she be able to use it
some
when she
inside
gets back to
info.
the States, though?
Yeah, I've seen people. You can on iOS at least. You can like create a new account, change your region to there, get the game, and then just use your regular account back in North America. And I know someone in Austin who's done that, and who downloaded the game from the Australia store. So it's out there. Again, I talked about this. I think it was. I don't remember if it was on the RT podcast. It was the last time I was in Glitch Please. I want it on the Switch.
Yeah.
Like, don't give me this stopgap mobile stuff. I'm gonna play it for a week and be like, all right, that was fun. But it's not what I want. Like, I want a 100-hour experience.
What
on
do
my
you do
Switch.
in that game? You just build a town?
Build a town, Ryan. That's all you do.
No,
I don't get it.
it's not a busy work game, but it's another relaxing busy work
Each
game.
their own.
It's like a
Brad.
Stardew.
It's like Stardew, yeah.
Okay.
Or it's just Stardew's like Animal Crossing.
Right. Chicken egg. Got it.
Animal Crossing definitely came first.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's just relaxing. You go around and you pay off your mortgage. You expand your house.
Oh, man, really?
Go
Do I
fishing.
get to simulate paying off a mortgage?
Yep.
And fishing?
And fishing.
Boy, you're really hooking me in now.
You got to pull weeds.
I get to weed,
Yeah,
too?
you can plant trees.
I won't even weed in
Gather
real
fruit.
life.
So we're not Nintendo people.
Oh, my God.
It's fun. It's fun.
It's the busy work simulator.
It is. But it's you get to prioritize your busy work.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then-
man.
And then if you don't play in a while, you get guilt tripped by the townspeople. Like, I haven't seen you in a long time.
Well, that's very Nintendo. Nintendo's very judgy if you leave it alone for too long.
And it also gets mad at you if you power off without saving.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're talking about having Animal Crossing on the Switch. It's got to be coming eventually, but is it probably too soon right now, right? They'd be blowing their load too early because you got Mario Odyssey.
I mean, yeah, heaven forbid. They've released 2 top-tier games this year.
I mean, they gotta
Heaven forbid they do a third.
They got to stretch them out.
I mean, realistically, the big like AAA Nintendo games that have come out this year have been Zelda and now Mario Odyssey. I guess Splatoon 2.
And Mario Kart.
Mario Kart.
But yeah, that was essentially the Wii U version.
That's okay. It was still a huge game that people bought and played. I did. I was one of them.
I bought and played it too.
Still, every 6-8 months, put out that big hitter. Just keep them coming.
I guess so. I guess I just wish I don't know. I guess Mario. No, I don't know how we would rearrange it. Yeah, I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't put Animal Crossing out before Mario or Zelda on the Switch. Maybe before Splatoon.
When you've made a platform that is so difficult to navigate for third-party vendors, you just really have to space out your first-party titles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, well, they to their credit, I feel like you're seeing more third-party support.
A lot of good indie games, dude. Golf Story is definitely
Bethesda's
one
like
of them.
all
Golf Story's
in.
great.
I mean, I thought it was a great bit of transparency of watching what Stardew Valley went through trying to get onto the platform. Like, why is it this difficult for a game that exists already on multiple platforms?
Yeah, that game it's good on the Switch. I played it. I have not played as much as I want to.
Seems like the perfect Switch game.
Yeah, and in fact, when I started playing Stardew Valley late. When I started playing it, I said, "Oh, this is going to be perfect on the Switch."
Are you one of those Stardew Valley people that have like Google Docs and spreadsheets and?
I'm not that crazy about
Okay.
it. Like I'll Google stuff. Like if I have a question, I'll look it up. But I haven't created my own document to save. But yeah, it's fun. And then our last little bit of news here. Just no one's surprised. Kinect is finally dead.
Yay!
Over. Throw it away. Microsoft officially announced they're no longer manufacturing Kinect units. They will only be available until they're sold out. So it's over. Much like the HD DVD drive, it's another accessory that's going to be relegated to pawn shops for $5 or something.
To think of all those great Kinect titles that will never be able to play
One of the ones that never
Like-
came out, like the Milo thing.
Oh, Milo.
and you know that one that everyone.
Kinect Adventures?
Connectables.
The one that was a
Yeah, you're
bundle?
right. Nobody played any of them. There's nothing there.
And even some of the integration on Xbox One was stupid, like the Dead Rising.
The only
You
thing
just
I
shout
liked-
you're crazy at
Yeah.
the
Or
psychopath.
good old Skyrim accidentally yelling Fuss Roda.
God.
Accidentally yelling Fuss Roda.
Yeah, just casually laying it out.
You know,
Dude.
Well, it's the problem was I trained my dog to do something to Fuss Roda. No, I didn't. But the only thing I'm gonna miss literally is being able to go Xbox volume up. And I only miss that because I still have one connected, but it stopped working months ago. It just sits there fallow.
I think I've bitched about this on this show before, but a game forced me to unplug the Kinect from my Xbox. When I went to
Oh, yeah.
when I played Tacoma, I downloaded it, had it on my Xbox, went to launch it, and you launch it, splash screen comes up, it says press A to start. Press A, nothing, kept pressing A. Say, all right, let me restart my Xbox. Restarted, try to launch it again, press A, nothing. You know, hard booted it, turned it off, turned it back on, launched it, same thing. Unplugged it from the wall, plugged it back in, same thing. So I looked it up, you know, I did a Google search, and people were like, oh yeah, unplug it from the wall, unplug your Kinect, plug it back into the wall, and then it'll work. Did that, game launched fine. I was like, all right, so my Kinect has been unplugged since then. It's like, how does that get through certification?
That's a real
With-
Windows
no one
store
uses
right
the
there.
Kinect, not
Right.
even Microsoft.
Right.
On
it's
a
like-
Windows store.
it's like that was so apparent that the platform was definitely abandoned by then. They don't care if you're literally unplugging something. And that was my launch Xbox. Like I could not get the Xbox without it. That's when they were saying the Xbox does not work without the Kinect. And how far we've come from then.
The QA department didn't even have one to test it with, probably.
So, I mean, the one bright side I can say about it is with the Kinect going away, and this has been already the case for a while, that frees up additional memory and CPU resources for developers to do additional things on the platform. So, we'll see.
What do you think of the new dashboard?
I haven't used it extensively because, like, I played a little bit of Shadow War and then I switched over to my PC stuff. I'm not a fan. So the big problem I have with it is I primarily use my Xbox, like I run my TV through it. So I primarily use it as one guide. When my Xbox turns on, it goes straight to TV. Like I don't see the dashboard. So if I want to play a game, I'll pick up my controller and I'll hit the guide. And so I get like that little side one. And it only shows like 5 pins there.
Yeah.
And I wish it showed more because then I have to like scroll down and click on that to have another screen load in order to get to my game or whatever application I want. And I just find that is annoying to me.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm still kind of learning to navigate it. So I do like that it feels a little bit snappier than it used to, a little bit more responsive. That part's nice. I'm not 100% sold on the layout at this point. I do like that it's one less ad than it used to have on the landing page. So hey, kudos for that. Go fix your fucking store.
On the PC.
Yeah, I'm going to just inject that into every conversation I have, revolving around Microsoft even tangentially from now on. Go fix your fucking store. It's all right. I mean, it's kind of glowy and ugly in a lot of ways too.
Yeah, it's got a weird glow to it. It's,
Yeah, it's like it's radioactive.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
How many iterations are we going to go through here? I feel like twice a year now we have like the new dashboard experience.
Look, they figured out a bunch of ways to make a bad UI. Eventually, they'll stumble on a good one.
But
I
every
had
time-
one. It was Blades.
Blades were all right.
Blades were not all right. Blades were slow as shit. Everyone thinks Blades were great. Blades were fucking terrible.
No, man, I had a fast deck.
You remember this?
Mine was
Swoosh.
Blade.
Waiting. Page content.
It was terrible.
That's a great noise, though. Swish, swish,
It was.
swish,
It wasn't.
swish,
That was the
swish.
only good part about the Blades was the noise.
You could just swish back and forth fast. You
Yeah.
could swish. You wouldn't get the content, but you could swish real
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like the past couple of iterations are like, that's it. We fixed the dashboard. It's awesome now. And it comes out and it's like, all right, I guess it's better. But
Yeah.
there hasn't been a real game changer. But
You know what? They should stop working on it, fix the store, and then come back.
come back, yeah.
Yeah.
But I wonder, like, so obviously they're doing a lot of work and a lot of tinkering. This isn't part of the news, but I'm gonna bring this up anyway. Did anybody else read the post by Frankie from 343 regarding Halo Master Chief Collection on Reddit?
No.
It was pretty interesting. He had a fairly long post talking about what went wrong with Master Chief Collection and why it has taken 3 years essentially to fix it. Because they're putting out a big update for it now
Is
with the
it still
Xbox One
broken?
X. Yes.
Oh,
So it's finally getting all addressed and fixed with this revamp that they're doing for the Xbox One X launch. And he talks about how, really the hardware and the software on the Xbox wasn't ready, and how the scope of the plan for Master Chief Collection changed midway through development, and that's why they kind of had to rush everything. I think initially they were just going to be shooting to do a Halo 2 remaster, and then they
Got
thought,
really ambitious.
right, why not just redo all of them and put them all into onto one platform? Yeah, so that's what they did, and they rushed for it, and just some of the networking differences between the different platforms and the way that they handled matchmaking just didn't work.
So back in the day when I was working at IGN, I was a part of the IGN First team. So we had early access to the Master Chief Collection because we were reporting on it like a month before it came out. And 2 months before the game came out, we went down there to grab a bunch of content and play the game, etc. And we were sitting there, and they're like, here's Halo 2, here's everything we're trying to do, and we're like, well, okay, like this is awesome, it's ambitious. But then came the list of like, well, we still got to implement this, and we still have to implement that, and there's still this piece that's coming in hot. And I was like, this game is supposed to release in like a month, and there's like literally like 2/3 of it still like not pieced together. It was just unfortunate that I was sitting there. I was like, ooh, this is not gonna come out great at all.
So I mean, the post here that he made is really long. I'm just going to show you guys how long it is. We'll link to it, but I mean, just to like summarize how
You went off.
Oh,
how
crap.
deep of a discussion it was. So I mean, it's a huge wall of text. It's if you were upset about the Master Chief Collection, justifiably so, I'd recommend reading it to see what they have to say about
so
it.
you're saying now's the time to finally go play it.
When the Xbox One X enhanced version comes out.
So you're saying in like 2 weeks.
Like 2 weeks.
I don't know yet if I'm getting one of those. I've pre-ordered one on Amazon and maybe on Walmart. I'm not really clear on that right now. I feel like I very distinctly ordered one on Walmart, and then I went and looked and was like, I can't find any record that this happened. So I ordered one on Amazon.
Well, you might get two then.
We'll see. I may have bought $1,000 worth of Xbox One X's, but I hope not.
Is anybody else picking up a One X?
I thought about it, but I was like, $200 more, I could get a 1080 Ti.
Yep. I mean,
Yeah.
I got one pretty much explicitly for the purpose of taking the bullet to see if it was worth it. Like to get one to talk about it.
Oh, you're getting two then.
Or two.
Doubling up.
Yeah, I pre-ordered one on Amazon when the pre-orders went live. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, hopefully getting that in a couple of weeks. Well, we'll see. All right. We're going to move on to our next topic of discussion. And I don't know if there's an interstitial, so I'm just going to stare at the camera. Is there an interstitial?
Scariest game.
We'll talk about some scary games. It's
Spooky.
October, right? It's a spooky month. Halloween's coming up soon. Oh shit, Halloween's next week.
Yeah, it is.
It's really soon. So we're gonna talk about everyone's favorite scary game. Mine's gonna be a fairly recent one.
All right.
I really liked Until Dawn.
Oh, that is a great one.
I think that came out 2 years ago now.
Very
on the
cinematic.
PS4. Yeah, it was great. All the different choices. Every October I have the intention of going back and replaying it. I haven't replayed it yet this October. I need to go back and check it out again. It was a really fun game. Lots of branching story options, and I thought it was executed really well.
It's a really great game to play in front of an audience.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I loved it. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Adam, what do you think?
I don't have a favorite scary game.
That's right, you're not a
because
scary
I don't
game
like
guy.
scary games, but
What's your least favorite scary game?
I played a lot of Outlast. I don't like that game. I do like the setting though. I think the setting's really cool. Reminds me of a movie called Grave Encounters, where it's like they're all stuck in a building with creepy ghosts and everything is shaded green because it's night vision. But
Sounds like 13th Ghost.
Remember that movie?
I don't remember that movie.
Yeah.
But
Come on, one of the great Matthew Lillard movies.
at some point, I want to go back and play more Alien Isolation because thematically, that's like one of my favorite universes ever.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Predator. New Predator movie coming out.
New Predator movie coming out. Yeah.
Poster.
There is?
Yeah.
I missed that. Damn. Sorry.
It's gonna be terrible, but it's gonna be good.
Yeah. From what I played of Alien, like it was really, at least art direction wise, it was super true to Alien, the first movie. And
Sounds and
Sometimes
everything.
frustratingly so. When you're getting on that CRT green screen computer system.
I love it. I love it. I just got really scared playing it. The androids were very scary. That's where I stopped.
I feel like that would have been a great game if it was 8 hours. They tried to stretch it to like 20, and it just got to the point where you spent 8 hours going one way of the ship, and then it was like halfway, it's like, all right, let's backtrack all the way back, and it's just like 8 hours of this would have been
enough.
awesome. 20 was just too much, in my opinion.
I wish they'd kept the VR part of it working. Because
Was it VR?
it had a native VR support for Oculus.
That would have been cool.
Sorta. I mean, it was like a kind of beta implemented feature, but it did work on the DK2. I haven't tried recently, but I don't think they kept up with it.
Let's see. My scary games. If it was back in the day, Fatal Frame.
Oh yeah, I love Fatal Frame.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Great game.
If it was like a handful of years ago, Outlast, I thought was scary. And then just recently would probably be Resident Evil 7. But like the first half of RE7.
Does it change a lot?
Yeah, the pacing gets a little bit more action-based. The first half, in my opinion, or like the first quarter, was just like, that was really spooky. In the house, the dad.
Should have put a little on VR in that game. That's too much, man.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it seems like it'd be too much.
It made me laugh. Like we were doing, or I guess the No was doing filming of people playing Resident Evil in VR to see how scared they'd get, and I was just laughing the whole time. Like I felt like I had played way scarier games already in VR, so like playing Resident Evil 7 was like, oh, this is nothing. This is easy.
Really? Yeah. No, for me, it was, I didn't want to be there.
So do you think that like VR is like the preferred delivery mechanism for horror games now?
I mean, it's way more immersive, so if you're already prone to getting scared of games, you're way more in that universe. I could definitely see that working. I don't like scary games, though, so I don't care. I don't want to be involved.
Yeah, we've definitely seen some good examples of that in VR. Emily Wants to Play is a good one.
That scared me.
It can be pretty freaky
They got me.
until you get used to it.
So yeah, and then you get the rhythm down.
There's so many games like that where as soon as you understand them, a lot of that goes away. I mean, Dead by Daylight used to be really, really intense until you get the mechanics of how the interaction between the survivors and the monster are. I think a kind of a side one that I always thought was intense and got me feeling like I should be scared, even though it was into more of a psychological thing, was The Vanishing of Ethan Carter.
I never played that one.
It's got a real environment to it where you're like, it's kind of like if you ever played Gone Home, only it's way better than Gone Home. But it's a shorter game, but it's just like you're trying to understand what's happening, and there's things that you come across very early on, like a murder, and you can kind of psychically see what happened in that spot. And there's just so many unusual, like unexplained things happening, and you're starting to dissect the story of the world that you're in. But it's not one of those where it's like frequently things are coming at you.
Yeah.
It's just, it puts you in a world where you're really uncertain about what's going on. And it's just, There's
good
so
looking.
many gorgeous views in it. But it's this beautiful world that's so empty. It's like things that should be populated but aren't.
One scary game that I really liked that wasn't so much scary, but the premise was cool. It's called Condemned Criminal Origins.
I was literally about to bring that up.
forgot about
That game is
Condemned.
literally awesome.
That was
With the premise where like you're a detective and you're trying to chase down a murderer, but the murderer is killing other like murderers, and he's using the same methods that they use to kill their victims.
That
is awesome.
That's probably one of like the 2 scary games that I've played through multiple times because the combat in the game is so good. I don't feel like they've done melee combat as well as they did in Condemned in first person.
Yeah, it's really good. There's a lot of scary moments where like you're in a house in a cornfield, and instead of using your flashlight, you're forced to like use your black light because you have to follow like a trail of like writing. Or when you're in the that abandoned mall and the Christmas music starts playing, and then like
There's a part. There's a part in that game. This is an older game. I don't know if I know games have done
It
this
was
since.
early in the 360 cycle.
Yeah, there's a game. There's a part where you're in a mannequin factory, which is like perfect setting for like a scary game. But you're walking through this mannequin factory, and like they all look like mannequins, but some of them will jump out and get you. But there's one part where you walk into a room and you just see like 4 mannequins, and then that's like the end of a hallway. So then you turn around, and then behind you from where you came are like 4 mannequins lined up. And then like as you turn, the mannequins start to like surround you, and like the more you turn, they just close in, and then eventually it goes black. It's really, really good.
yeah, no, it's really awesome.
The other scary game I actually played was Resident Evil 4 and 5. But 4 was my baby. I love that game on GameCube. Me and my friend would play that like nonstop.
So Ben just reminded me, I forgot about this, that Until Dawn is having a PSVR prequel that's coming out in November, The Inpatient.
It's really cool.
They showed a teaser for it, or a little trailer for it at E3 this past year.
It's not going to be like the nonsense PSVR title that Until Dawn has already released.
Oh, right.
The on-rails shooter.
Yeah, that was not good.
It's
But,
not
Dawn
good.
on-rail shooter.
It's
It was not good.
It's like a carnival ride. You're on a roller
Yep.
coaster. But this is a
derailed the series.
prequel set 60 years before Until Dawn. The worry I have about this game is, like Alfredo, I think it was Alfredo said, Until Dawn was a great game to play like with a group of people or in front of a bunch of people. If you're playing like on PSVR, it takes that element away, right? Because you're just playing like on a VR headset, and you're kind of closing yourself off.
You can, because of the way PSVR works, you could still stream it or the second monitor's still there for everybody else.
Yeah,
But
it's a different experience. It's not as directed because then on top of telling you what to do, people are gonna be telling you where to look.
well, they can only see what you see.
Right, but like, oh, what was that? Look to your right, look to your left. Like they're gonna want to see. Like you're gonna be getting everyone directing you around. So I'm excited about that.
I wonder if it's going to be one of the more like Myst, where it's just, VR titles tend to fall into like a couple categories. Sometimes it's you just are on this spot and can't move around and have to investigate your surroundings that way. Hopefully it'll be more dynamic than that, but I don't know. PSVR is kind of all over the place.
So I wanted to touch on something else that Alfredo said earlier. Did anybody else play Fatal Frame or nobody? It was a great game. It was I think it was a PS2, right? Yeah. The first one was on PS2. I think you play a Japanese schoolgirl who's hunting ghosts, and the way you find the ghosts is
Scarier than it sounds.
you have to look at them through your camera, and your camera can do damage to them if you take pictures
Yeah,
of ghosts.
it's very cool.
So it's like you don't have like a gun or a real like any type of weapon to fight a ghost other than a camera, and you like have to hold it up to like look for them. It's really creepy, atmospheric.
Are they making a new Fatal Frame for the Switch or Wii U? I remember seeing that. It's either the
Like a
Switch
year
or
or
Wii
two
U.
ago, right?
Yeah, where they were holding up the Switch or Wii U game controller, and it was like you were taking pictures that way.
No,
That
it's not
sounds
familiar.
cool.
I'm looking it up.
Sounds like a couple E3s ago.
Yeah, it might have been for Wii U, which it's probably canceled if that's the case.
There was Fatal Frame, Maiden of Blackwater, which came out for Wii U in 2014 in Japan, 2015 in North America.
Oh, it actually came out. Okay, never mind.
There you go.
Wrong.
Go check it out. You didn't even know.
Yeah, I like the series, and I didn't even know. my Wii U, I didn't really use it. I used it for Captain Toad Treasure Tracker and Splatoon,
Nice.
and that was it.
I played Splatoon 1 a lot more than I played Splatoon 2.
I think I did too.
Unfortunately.
I like Splatoon 2 a lot. Salmon Run is a lot of fun.
I didn't get to play it at all.
It's good. But yeah, I feel like I just haven't touched it as much. There's too many other games going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, Splatoon, great series. Not scary at all.
Nope.
And then the other point we have here is, have you ever been scared in a game you didn't expect, like a scary moment in a non-scary game?
Oh my God, dude! Any game, man, any game like that has a zombie level where like things start to get really dark and spooky, I hate it. because like I like.
What did you think about Ravenholm in Half-Life 2?
I hated it.
What?
Actually, I loved it, but like it was terrifying. It was like it took me a long time to get through Ravenholm because you're just going through like Half-Life 2 it is kind of scary. Just on its own, like with the Combine, like the faceless soldiers chasing you and stuff. It's not like scary, but like it's tense. But then you get to Ravenholm, and it's just like it is just a zombie level with traps and crazy scary shit. The poison zombies, the running zombies, like all the noises they make are terrifying. But most games that have that, I hate it. Like that's a lot of time growing up, like that was my stopping point in games. Like when I would get to the zombie level, I remember even in Halo, like that was always the part where I got really scared. It was what was it, 343 Guilty Spark level, the one where the
when
flood
you first
came.
encountered it.
Oh, the flood, yeah. That was a
Yeah.
little freaky because you get the he takes like the helmet recording. And you
Yep.
see what happened. It's like ooh,
Yeah.
no
I
bueno.
remember getting real scared, but yeah, I don't really like it, but.
That reminds me. It's not quite the same, but that you're talking about like re-seeing the memory of them fighting the flood. It makes me think about the moment in Horizon Zero Dawn. I think it's where is it? Where the Grave Horde level, where you go and you find those soldiers who made their last stand against all the machines that were coming. It's like just listening to them, like joking and like trying to stay calm, and then like things get progressively worse as like they're just being overrun by the machines. I like that kind of mechanic. It's the same kind of thing where it's not a scary game, but it like really sets an eerie mood for that level.
Yeah. You realize that you're basically wading through the graves of a bunch of soldiers.
Right.
Yeah.
That was really great. Then some other examples I have listed here is like the Nightmares in Max Payne. Max Payne a long time ago.
Yeah. Boy.
The Morgue in Arkham Asylum, or the Ghost in GTA 5. You had a Ghost video a long time ago.
Yeah, I think it was back during IGN. Made like a video just kind of like a walkthrough about it and how to trigger it and all that kind of stuff. That was way back in the day. I think I had no hair at that point too. I was just like buzz cut.
Yeah, but yeah, I like that. I remember watching that video. That's really spooky to find that ghost out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You're not expecting it. And Ben's also letting me know that supposedly there's a leak that's coming out right now that the Steam Halloween sale is supposed to start today.
Today? Oh, okay.
That's spooky.
Yes.
So we got some games we need to go find and
I
buy and not play.
No way. It was horrible timing for a Steam sale.
I'm already so far behind on so many
bad.
other games.
Yeah, I mean we're recording this on Thursday, the day before everything hits. Well, I guess
Destiny 2
Destiny just
came out.
hit, but man, Mario is everything.
I was a little annoyed that Destiny 2 unlocked like at noon
Yeah,
on that day.
It's just like,
I was like, why not 12 or 1 a.m.? Like,
corresponding with their server maintenance, I guess.
I guess like I was gonna stay up late that night. And,
Yeah.
like, I launched
Yep.
BattleNet.
I'm right there
and
with
I was like,
you.
launch time zones. What? And I was like, oh fuck! It doesn't come out till noon.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I'm just gonna go to bed.
Yeah.
On the topic of Fatal Frame, have you heard of a series called Dread Out?
No.
I played that.
It's an indie game on Steam, very, very similar to Fatal Frame. They've kind of been updating it with different DLC and whatnot. The most recent one I could find was Dread Out Keepers of the Dark, which was released on March 24th, 2016. But it's very similar. You're a schoolgirl in a school or town with a cell phone that can detect ghosts.
That game's pretty spooky, dude. Have you played it at all? I mean, it is a lot like Fatal Frame, but it's there's a quality to that game where it's like it's janky enough where it feels scarier somehow.
It found the perfect balance of broken and scary.
Well, maybe they'll put it on the Halloween sale. I'm looking it up right now. Oh, it has very positive reviews, and it's $7.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's
Doesn't get
it's
much.
expansion or something, or standalone something.
This is
The original Dread Out is.
and by the collection with everything for $22.37.
If you want a scary game, is that set in like Thailand or something?
I don't know. Doesn't say.
Okay,
All right. Well, that's all I got.
All right.
cool, man.
Let's go play some of these games.
Let's go get working on our back catalog. So thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.